everybody, happy Freaky Friday from the podcast. This is the time of week where we make bold predictions. And we also talk to some other athletes from other sports, but the main events, outside of the women's soccer hosting NCAA tournament game, is that we dive in deep and we drill down to something like Ohio State and Indiana. Noon, Saturday, Horseshoe. That's Bill Landis, Jeremy Birmingham, and I am Austin Ward. How should we begin? Who wants to go first?
I think we should just begin by acknowledging the elephant in the room.
How did it get in here?
We haven't gotten anything damn right on this show in about 3 weeks. And I'm starting to feel like we need to temper our expectations just a skosh.
Do you want to...
I know the goal is to be bold in our prediction, right?
So you want to make real predictions this week?
I think we just need to aim a skosh lower.
Okay.
In order to provide some form of accuracy and education for our viewers. Because at this juncture, I worry that we're not being taken seriously.
Okay, so your suggestion, off the cuff, that we weren't able to prepare for, is that we should make real predictions and track them for next week.
No, I think, like, in the future, we should track them throughout the year. I know Bill's been tracking them probably because he's a research nerd.
I have not.
But like,
he did the mid-season ones.
Last week, for example, I made the prediction I had the conversation on our bold prediction show, like, Ohio State's going to win 17-7. And that was actually the bold prediction that was right. And it was laughed out of the room. And so I think we just need to embrace the fact that we need to be drilling down into the deep, deep darkness of what happens on Saturday against Indiana.
I thought that's what we were doing.
No, I mean, but realistically, the realistic nitty gritty.
So real?
Gritty. I mean, I'm not saying that any bold prediction I've ever made has been fabricated entirely and created out of just this definitely won't happen. I think generally that we make them because we believe they can, but they are a touch more grandiose than perhaps necessary. Like when we say Ohio State's going to run for 401 yards when they haven't run for 400 yards in a game. And how long?
It was 5 years. And Northwestern stinks, and they should have run for 400 yards.
Anyway.
They were averaging 6 yards a carry.
Why don't you go first, Austin? You're in the middle.
Okay.
Just predict that Ohio State's going to win, and we'll get out of here.
Since things have taken a turn,
I
actually was going to follow suit from what you two have done and try and bring an interesting stat to the table.
Love to see it.
So maybe I was making a real prediction anyway.
Okay, cool.
Indiana has given up more sacks than any team in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the number is?
I don't.
Total sacks allowed?
31.
Very good guess. 28 is the limited damage. 3 sacks a game they're giving up. Feels like it could be much worse just watching Indiana. And if you watch the Daily on Thursday, you got some insights about how that unit has just collapsed over the last several years from Zach Osterman of the Indy Star. That helped inform my feeling that JT Tuimoloau will have 3 sacks on Saturday. That is it might seem bold, Berm, but this matchup favors him, and I think he's going to maximize all the opportunities he gets to step on the field.
I mean, it's bold because he'll probably play 9 snaps, but I mean, I guess we saw Michael Hall get 3 and 7 snaps at Michigan State.
That's
so
right.
It's possible.
That's right.
I like that.
So, it's certainly not too bold to suggest that the best defensive lineman on the team gets 3 sacks against a really bad offensive line.
That's right.
I like it.
That's right.
C.J. Stroud is going to throw 6 touchdown passes. I think it's time for the return of the laser show.
Okay.
Northwestern's defense, actually their run defense is pretty good. Their pass defense is not. I don't think that secondary is very good, and I think they're missing some guys injury-wise. But there's been a lot of talk about the run game, obviously, for the last few weeks. I do not think Ohio State comes out on Saturday and tries to prove a point again by running it 35 times and trying to boost those numbers. I think they come out and remind everybody what makes them great, and that is their passing attack and C.J. Stroud and those receivers. 6 touchdown passes for C.J. We'll call it 3 for Marvin, touchdown machine, 2 for Julian Fleming, and 1 for Emeka Ibuka.
I like it. It's going to be 40 degrees into this game, so it's going to be cold.
It's time for the Freaky Friday weather report.
We're going to see 15-mile-an-hour winds throughout the day, but it's not going to be overbearing. I agree. It's going to be a sunny day, I think. You're going to see the Buckeyes try to light it up a little bit on the scoreboard, and I agree with you on that. I'm going to take the opposite track here and make a prediction about Indiana in this season. I don't know who the heck their quarterback is going to be. I do know that they have watched Ohio State play defense, and they know the only way that you're going to survive this game and make it even remotely close is by letting this quarterback run the football a lot. And I think that you're going to see the Indiana quarterback run for 100 yards on Saturday. No matter who it is, he is going to run for 100 yards. It may be all 100 of their yards, but their third-string quarterback, he's a kid from down south. He's an athletic type. I know that.
Dexter Williams.
I know he's athletic. He's a player that, has some of that Daquan Bin juice to him a little bit. He may not throw the ball very well, may not throw the ball very often, but I think he's probably going to be the quarterback, and I think that he's the guy that they're going to say, hey, go ahead and try to do something like Xander Diamante did in 2015 or 16. Just go run around and see what happens, because that's how they will keep the Buckeye defense on the field, and that's how they will be able to move the ball, because their team as a whole is averaging like 3.4 yards a rush.
All indications from Tom Allen throughout the week, if we're going to treat this as a much more serious version of bold predictions, of the Connor Bazelak.
We do want accurate information.
Well, Connor Bazelak is expected to start, and if he runs for 100 yards, I think we can probably just leave the stadium.
Connor Bazelak sure won't be running for.
You're just assuming that he's going to be able to play the whole game.
Okay.
I think they could mix and match too, and try to throw something different at them.
Connor, he played at Missouri. He's a decent quarterback from Ohio. He has some roots. I'm sure he'd love to put on a show back home, but it's. I don't know if I'm Indiana, and if we're going to deep dive into the Hoosiers, like, why would you play Connor Bazelak in this game? Like, it's time to look for the future. So, what's the point? That's my opinion. Like, you've lost 6 games in a row after starting the season with a win against Illinois, where everyone's like, oh, what the heck? And now you're 3-6, and you stink, and Connor Bazelak's not going to be your quarterback of the future. Why play him? You're just going to risk getting him. I guess the good news is he could be closer to home for his funeral if he gets murdered by JT Tuimoloau. So that's a positive.
Wow. I'm not sure that counts as a positive.
Well, I mean, for his family.
Well, the funeral.
You like to be surrounded by family.
The funeral should be for Tom Allen's coaching career, head coaching career. You're talking about looking to the future. I have no idea why Indiana decided to offer an extension to this man.
Let me just say, 100 yards rushing for the Indiana quarterbacks.
Got it. All right. Okay. I accept your proposal.
I like it.
Okay.
Marvin Harrison Jr. seems pretty good to me.
He is good.
Quite good.
Fact check?
Correct. Ding. If you remove those horrific wind conditions from last week, I think you saw an opportunity that CJ Stroud and Marvin Harrison continue to be developing fantastic chemistry, almost unguardable, I would say, Marvin Harrison has become. He's going to, I don't know if he's going to cash in all of them for the 3 touchdowns that Bill predicted, but he's going to have 200 yards receiving in this game. I think probably just 2 touchdowns, and then stopped maybe at like the 2 or 3 yard line to set up a Mayan Williams score if I drill down on it. But I think 200 as part of that big laser show that CJ Stroud has in store.
I like that. I'm going to go a slightly different direction, but same idea, building off of my CJ Stroud 6 touchdown passes. I think something is starting to develop here where defenses are attempting to take away Emeka and Marvin. I don't think it's going to work or be super effective, but I think it is a strategy of theirs to divert a lot of resources towards those two and leave Julian Fleming kind of singled up quite a bit. And Julian Fleming's a really good downfield receiver. I think he would have had a couple long ones last week if the wind was not what it was. I think Julian's going to have 200 yards receiving. Not to say I think they're all going to have big days, but I think Julian is the one that ends up leading them in receiving because he's the one that sees the most solo matchups. I envision a couple of long touchdowns for the 2 that I predicted that gets them, I don't know, something like, we'll call it 6 catches for 200 yards.
I like. And while we're just talking about them wideouts, 3 Ohio State receivers will have 100 yards on Saturday. All 3 of those guys that you just mentioned, Marvin, Emeka, and Julian, will have 100 yards. And to put that, my own spin on it, Emeka Egbuka will have 2 touchdowns. Probably one of them will be a rushing touchdown. But
let's pop pass or handoff.
I don't care. One of them is going to look like a rushing touchdown. Whatever they put it in the stat book as doesn't really matter. I'm sure Ryan Day would prefer it be a pop pass for the statistics, as the Buckeyes are trying to win a Heisman. That is very important on some level for CJ Stroud in this program to get another W in the old H category. So I think they're going to probably do it in the pop pass variety, but each receiver will have 100 yards receiving for Ohio State. And very few schools in the country can trot out three different wideouts that can beat you by themselves, and the Buckeyes, we're going to have three of them on the field at one time, and they're going to all eat on Saturday. Yum, 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 yum.
That seems like a good place to regroup and take a break and interview some Buckeyes, looking around the rest of campus, and maybe we'll sneak in a special guest as well from this Ohio State football team. Stick with us, stay tuned, enjoy. We'll be right back. All right, everybody, it's time once again on a Freaky Friday version of the podcast to take a look elsewhere on campus. And before you can get a taste of high stakes action before football on Saturday by heading over to Jesse Owens Memorial Stadium. It's NCAA tournament time, College Cup time for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Women's soccer team is a regional 6 seed, and they will host Bucknell at 6 p.m. We have Peyton McNamara, Sydney Jones, and Maddie Lowe joining us for a couple minutes to preview the matchup. Buckeyes, thanks for joining us. This is what you've been playing for, right? Maddie, this is what you play all season to get to this point. You host a home elimination game. Can't get much better than that.
Yeah, this is the best part of our season. We've been training all year for this, so we're really excited to get to this point and be in a position where we can compete at home.
Sydney, what's that home crowd going to be like for you on Friday night?
Hopefully a lot of people. We're hoping out. We've had some good crowds, so hopefully they bring the energy and help us out a little bit.
Peyton, to get to this point, every season has its own unique challenges and ups and downs. Now that you've got to this point, I guess you can put most of that behind you. But how do the goals change when you get into this postseason setting?
I think it's just important to know that you're playing and you have nothing to lose now. Like, you just have everything ahead of you, and you can either play 1 game or 6 games. It just depends on how you look at it, and you got to go with everything you got.
Maddie, what is like the selection process like? You all weren't assured of anything. Didn't know maybe where you'd play, if it would be at home. When you all got together to find out how this was coming out, the bracket, how it was going to shake out, what was that like for you all together, and what was the response in the room there?
Yes. So throughout the year, our coaching staff does a really good job scheduling games that are going to put us in great positions to be in this spot that we're in right now. So we talk throughout the year a lot about every ball matters, every goal matters, every game matters, whether it's a tie or a win, every point matters. So I think we put ourselves in a really good position from our out of conference and conference schedule. So it was nice knowing that we were in a position where we were pretty confident that we were going to make the selection in the tournament, but we had no idea where. We had no idea who we were going to be up against. So when we got together, we all kind of had an idea that we were going to be selected. But when we were sitting here, it was just really exciting to be with everyone and get the opportunity to play against Bucknell at home. Like I said earlier, just being at home for one more game is really, really exciting. And I think everyone on our team is excited to get one more chance out there at the Jesse. So it was an exciting time.
Sydney, then you get that matchup and you've got several days to prepare. How are the nerves? Are they different for an NCAA tournament College Cup game than anything else that you deal with throughout the rest of the year?
Obviously it's kind of like a do or die type situation, but I don't feel that many nerves with our team. I think we're more just super excited to play, especially at home. We've been just waiting for, a week or two now, just training and preparing for this game. We're just really excited to play. So I don't think anyone's really that nervous. And we have a pretty good opponent, and we want to come out strong and just prove to everyone that, we're one of the best teams out here. So,
Payne, for anybody who hasn't seen this team in person or been out to a game at Jesse Owens, what are they missing? What do they need to go see before it's too late on Friday night?
I just think we come with something different for every game. You never know what to expect from the Buckeyes, and I think that's why we're such a hard team to play. I think our greatest asset is our attacking ability and our abilities in front of the net. With our 2 wide forwards, you never know what they're going to do. They could score from the half field or from a diving header, and you never know what you're going to get.
Was everybody happy with the USA roster that was released on Wednesday? Thought maybe Pepe should be out there. I don't know if maybe you guys are too focused on Bucknell to have paid any attention to who Greg Berhalter's taking to Qatar.
I agree.
I'm definitely way too focused on tomorrow. I have no idea what you guys are even talking about. That's no surprise for me, though.
Well, what was that, Peyton?
I agree that Pepe should have been on it.
All right, yeah. You and I are on the same wavelength. I love that. So the other thing that we like to do every Friday, since name, image, and likeness became legal and encouraged and embraced for you all, I don't know how much you do, especially in season. As you said, you're focused on Bucknell and the College Cup starting on Friday night. But, there's got to be something that you want. A place that you love to eat in Columbus, somewhere that you like to shop. I don't know. An NIL deal, if you got to pick one that you wanted most, what would it be? We'll go in this same order. We'll start with you, Maddie.
Oh boy. I'm kind of a foodie, so I think I would go with a restaurant. Um, I'm thinking Condados. I'm a big
Ooh,
taco fan, so if
okay.
Condados would like to support me in NIL, I would love that.
Love that. All right. A taco deal. We can deal with that.
Yeah, Taco
Sid-
Tuesday.
there you go. Sydney.
I was going for the car, like the car dealer.
That's a good
Or
idea, Sid.
love clothes, so I just go for Essentials, that brand. If I could be sponsored by them, that'd be my favorite thing ever.
All right. A car or Essentials. Aim big. You can. There's no limit here. It's just your imagination. Let's see what Peyton's got.
All right, I don't have anything big because, again, like Maddie, I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
I'm going with Graders or any ice cream place around.
Ooh,
That's a
'Cause
good one
ice
Ben
cream
and-
is
too.
my weakness. It's my weakness.
Ben and
Graders.
Jerry's.
Ben and Jerry's would be a great one.
what flavor graders?
Ooh, I like their strawberry, but I also like their Buckeye Blitz. That's also
Yeah.
a good one.
Well, that sounds like the perfect match right there for an NIL opportunity. Buckeye Blitz, and maybe there'll be some of that to celebrate Buckeye victory on Friday night. They play Bucknell again. You don't want to miss it. Friday, 6:00. It's an NCAA tournament do or die situation on campus. Go out there and support these ladies and their teammates. A big game again. Ohio State, the 6th seed in the region, looking to keep this season alive. Thank you all for joining us on the podcast, and good luck against Bucknell. All right, taking a break from bold predictions on Freaky Friday to have a special guest in here. His name is Marvin Harrison. You may have heard of him. He's one of the best wide receivers in America, plays for Ohio State. And right back in that, right behind us, right here, Marvin,
Yeah.
that's like your wife, I think.
Yeah, that's my best friend for sure.
Tell me, it's called the Monarch, right?
Monarch, yeah, Monarch.
Tell me how this relationship has blossomed and how it all came to be.
Yeah, I think the guys text me on Instagram. It's like, hey, we're coming to Columbus. Got this machine. Kind of shoots passes up for you. It's like, okay, I'm interested. Then, we kind of came out here, got to experiment with it. I've been on it ever since.
It seems like a ready-made NIL deal for you because so the routine, we see you out every Tuesday before practice. I imagine it's probably not the only day of the week that you use it, but does it have like special Marvin settings on it? How does it all work?
No, I think everybody knows that I probably use it the most in the building. So Marvin machine, whatever you want to call it. It was just out there all getting better though with my teammates. I'm not the only one on there. Reese Stocks was out there with me. Cameron Babb, X Johnson, Xavier Johnson. Jackson's been out there with me.
Yep.
Some of the DBs, Emeka's. So it's all of us. We're trying to get better each day.
So, everybody sees maybe how that work ethic is working for you, but Reese, I think the first time we came out here, something like, who is that? And how did they become your workout buddy there?
I think Reese just has that same work ethic that I have. So we kind of both out there trying to get better. I'm super proud of him and all that you guys probably don't see on Saturdays, but just the plays he's making in practice, man. That's my guy. So I'm definitely excited, for when he gets this opportunity to be out there on the field.
So we know how much time you're spending in here, how much time you spend on the Monarch. When, everyone is starting to just get to know you nationally, when you aren't doing some football stuff,
Oof.
What is it that you're most likely to be doing?
Sleeping. Sleeping.
Eat, sleep, catch footballs, that's it?
That's pretty much all I do, man. Football has kind of consumed my life. I try to have a personal life, outside of football. I'm so busy and I'm trying to get better and stay humble, of course. And I might watch a TV show here or there, but I'm here most of my time.
Okay. What TV show would you be watching?
I just finished Manifest. Then it came out recently. Just finished Manifest on Netflix. I think I'm about to start Power soon. So I heard a lot of things about that.
Are you taking you live in here? Are you taking every meal, or is there a place in Columbus that you like to go?
I usually eat here. If I don't, there's this one place I like to go to, the Modern Southern Table. Like DoorDash it.
Okay.
I think it's on North 4th Street or something like that. I got some good soul food, so that's probably my favorite place to go to.
All right, so you're walking into the Horseshoe Saturday around 10 a.m.
Yep.
Headphones are in. What are we listening to?
Oh, Lil Baby, especially his new album. It's only me, so definitely listen to Lil Baby.
All right. What's the vibe like in Zone 6 right now for you guys? I know last week was not what you had in mind.
Right.
You have to kind of throw that one away because of the weather
of
conditions, but just the tightness of that unit. I know it's been built, the cultures you inherited from a year ago and the guys before that, Chris, Garrett, Terry down the line, Johnny, KJ. What is it like in there now?
I think what you guys probably don't see, on the field, obviously, we have a great bond. But I think off the field, too, we're spending time with each other, going to movies, going to each other's houses, just having fun as friends more than just teammates, too. So each day we're trying to have fun out there, cheer each other on, making plays in practice, and obviously in the games, too. So.
All right, Berm's got a story with Marvin Harrison Jr., so I'm not going to spoil all the anecdotes. But I know the best part about it is him talking about getting one glimpse at his dad's Super Bowl ring, and that's pretty neat. But I liked your answer. You don't really care about seeing all that stuff because you want your own.
Yeah, I got to get my own.
All right.
Full jacket, everything.
That's what he's going for. He's Marvin Harrison Jr. off to a great start here in year number 2 at Ohio State, and we appreciate him giving us a couple minutes right here on the podcast. Thanks,
Thank
Marvin.
you. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks to all those Buckeyes for joining us again. You can catch Ohio State women's soccer hosting the NCAA tournament. And back there in that building, if you can maybe make it out on Friday night at 7, good luck to those ladies, their first opportunity to host an NCAA tournament game in a long time. All right, back to Ohio State and Indiana Saturday at noon. I was very ready I thought I was going to be all alone making an Emeka Egbuka rushing touchdown prediction. I'll say that I think he's going to get 65 rushing yards in this game, just to veer slightly. I think it's important, and Ohio State got a little bit of a reminder of how diversifying its rushing attack and using all the weapons available to it, how important that is moving forward. It doesn't take a lot of effort to run a jet sweep or run a pop pass. For the sake of this argument, I will say they won't be pop passes to Emeka Egbuka in this game. So it'll detract slightly from C.J. Stroud's individual numbers, but it will help Emeka Egbuka. He's very good when you get him to the edge. He's got great athleticism. We all have seen that up close and personal throughout this year. You only have to do that once or twice, and those can be explosive gains, especially against a defense that looks as lost and disheveled as the Hoosiers have been under Tom Allen in the last couple of years. So make it 67 yards rushing and a touchdown for Emeka Egbuka on the ground.
I feel like we're having a bit of a mind meld here.
We spend a lot of time together.
So this is going to be out of left field.
Okay.
But I have
That's a weird expression when you think about it.
Yeah,
Because
that's
generally
true.
things are going out of left.
And why is
out
it
to
left field? Why isn't it right field?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or center field? Or anywhere on a baseball ground?
Like nothing really comes out of left field.
It'd be
has
weird.
to go out front to left field.
Yeah.
The weirdest part would be if it came from foul territory.
That's true. This is coming from foul territory. G. Scott's going to have a rushing touchdown.
Okay.
Okay.
He's entering Chives territory.
Oh no!
I was totally on board when you said G. Scott. I think he's going to have a 2-touchdown day on Saturday. That's not a bold prediction. It's just something I think. I think he's going to be in the passing game a little bit more than he has been. But anyway, please continue.
Let him finish.
So last week, Ohio State showed a little something new running the football, which is they get big and then they send G. Scott in motion and they run the old school power play. G kicks out the end. Matthew Jones pulled into the hole and took the first guy there. Pretty successful rushing play for them. I think they're building towards something, and I think they're going to call that, and then they're going to get down in the red zone. They're going to call it again, but this time CJ's going to turn. He's going to hand it to G. G goes in motion, and G's going to run into the end zone for a rushing touchdown.
That's a drill down.
Holy cow!
I mean, at least there is rationale to the tight end around running. I mean, it's more likely than what Chives did a few years ago when he called for a tight end dive to Jeremy Rucker.
Which they'd never run before.
And Rucker had never
even hinted at.
But that's why we love Chives out there, America. Let's see. We've talked about the passing game. I agree. I think this is going to be a C.J. Stroud day on Saturday. But I don't think that precludes Mayan Williams from having a day. And he is going to put up 3 rushing touchdowns for Ohio State on Saturday.
A triple ding dong.
And he may not have a big day numbers-wise, stat-wise, but I think you're going to see him get a couple opportunities to just hammer it in.
Punctuate a couple drives.
Yeah, so 3 rushing touchdowns for Mayan Williams and 75 yards rushing.
Brum, how is it that you always get in the exact right spot to take a picture of Mayan doing his celebration? I just scrolled through the other day. I was looking at the Mayan Williams photos. I'm like, I've already seen this one. They're all this. You get them all in the exact same spot.
See, there's something nice about like the fact that generally most of his scores are right up the middle, and so you have a good vantage point. The worst part is when Ohio State does like the end around stuff or the passes to the corner, because wherever you are on the end zone line, like the goalposts get in the way or the official stands in the way. When it's coming right at you like that, if you miss it, it's just because you're not paying attention.
Well, they're great. Score prediction.
He's been doing the snot thing lately.
Yeah, he has been doing that. Yeah.
Is that what they're calling it?
Very popular.
I can't imagine what else you call it. Nose wiper?
I can think of something that it's called, but that's a different show.
Yeah. I forget what my score prediction was on Monday.
It doesn't matter, Bill. Make up.
Yeah, 49-7 Ohio State.
The line is what, 40 now?
It's
41.
40
So it's moved
and
up.
a half, 41-ish, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I was literally going to say 49-7 thanks to our mind meld that Bill and I
I think
have
I
going.
said 49-7 on Monday. So,
The official Freaky Friday score prediction is 49-7.
let me just do my math here. I said 2 touchdowns for Emeka Ibuka, 2 touchdowns for G. Scott. That's 4. 3 for Mayan Williams. That's 49 points. There it is, 49-7.
Okay, let's just roll with that.
I also think that Tommy Eichenberg's going to have an interception on Saturday. I'm just going to do a couple quick
Rapid
interceptions.
fire.
Tommy
Quickies.
Eichenberg, interception on Saturday. And an interception, first one of the season for Denzel Burke, which will be the first for any Ohio State cornerback.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Any other quickies? Come on, rapid fire, so to speak. Couple quickies.
I don't know. I just thought we were supposed to take it all very seriously, and
Oh, now we're at the end of the show. No one's watching anymore.
I think Lathan Ransom will probably be pretty motivated to play this game after missing a couple tackles and not playing to maybe his best level against Northwestern. Probably looking at an interception for him. Maybe fill in the box and adding 2 tackles for loss on top of that.
I like that. I'll go 8 carries for Chip Trainum.
Ooh, 8 carries for the
off
Chippa.
the old block.
Chippa.
Get your chips, yeah?
That's right. Thanks as always for joining us on
We don't have the
Freaky Friday.
soundboard, so we're just adding in sounds of our own. No.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that one again. Where did that one come from?
Yeah,
Wow.
I hit the button.
Second time I heard it. That's crazy. Thanks again for joining us. Thanks to our guests for popping on, giving us some of their time and insight about the Buckeyes as well. I hope everybody enjoys their weekend and the game Saturday noon, Ohio State, Indiana. That's Bill Byrne. I'm Austin. We'll see you there.